If you are flying this summer, or really at any point, we want to tell you about an airport you might want to avoid. A Wall Street Journal survey finds that Newark Liberty International in New Jersey, here in the New York area, is the worst airport in the nation for flight delays.
Which actually surprised me. I think it surprised you as well.
If it was going to be a New York area one, I wouldn't have thought Newark.
It was actually Newark. CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg is here now to tell us what is behind all of these backups. Peter,
you knew this probably.
I sort of knew it, yeah. Good morning, guys. Now, high oil prices prompted airlines to cut the number of flights by nearly 5% across the country. Now, that may be something like good news, but the number of late departures and arrivals continues to rise.
Newark's Liberty International may only be the 14th busiest airport in the United States, but it takes first prize when it comes to delays. In fact, 40 of the 100 most delayed flights go into or out of Newark.
I'd believe that. that sounds right on the money. I thought it would be higher, actually.
It's something air travelers at Newark know all too well.
Today I'm going to Atlanta to help my daughter set up an apartment. And with great trepidation, because I heard that that flight was delayed more than any other flight in this area.
Actually, Delta Flight 2743 from Newark to Atlanta is the most delayed flight in the country. It's late 60% of the time. Right behind it, Delta's Flight 2843, also to Atlanta, delayed 50% of the time, each with a delay of more than an hour and 19 minutes. That came as no surprise to regular business traveler Kurt Valencia of Daytona Beach, Florida.
I take the 6:15, and that's true. It's always late.
Other top offenders, Southwest Flight 50 from Dallas Love Field to Kansas City, delayed 47% of the time. Continental Flight 2248 from Memphis to Newark, and Comair Flight 6480 from Chicago's O'Hare to Cincinnati, all have average delays of over an hour. Experienced travelers say they may know some ways around the delays, but when it comes to flying, nothing is foolproof.
Today, I tried to get on an earlier flight, but it's booked, so I'll just wait until the 6:15.
Fortunately for Kurt, he caught a lucky break. His flight Thursday from Newark to Atlanta actually landed 8 minutes early.
And I, on the other hand, not so lucky. My flight to LaGuardia last night actually arrived 40 minutes late, which by LaGuardia standards is actually early.
It's pretty good. And I love it when you actually do end up getting there early and then the gate's not ready.
Yeah.
So they say, well, we actually got in on time. It's their fault there. Why all these delays now?
Well, the problem is it's about so many planes flying in such narrow airspace, and it's about scheduling. It's not about weather. Even in great weather, these statistics actually apply. Why? Because they're flying at different times. For example, if you have a runway that only holds 20 planes in an hour, they can only do 20 takeoffs in an hour, why are the airlines allowed to schedule 34 flights during that time? It doesn't take a math genius to realize you better bring a copy of War and Peace because you're going to be reading it. You're not going
to get through the whole book. Yeah. So you mentioned in the piece there are certain things that well-traveled folks know they can do to avoid this. You're probably the most well-traveled person we know.
Yes.
What do we do?
Well, obviously, you want to take the first flight out of the day. That's a no-brainer. But now you want to pick alternate airports, not just to fly from, but to fly to, and also to fly through. So you want to fly to like Oakland instead of San Francisco, Providence instead of Boston. I'm a big fan of Milwaukee instead of Chicago. It's the secret third airport to Chicago.
And now we know the secret. Plus, you can also look at those delays that you highlighted for us when you book a flight.
Yes, the Department of Transportation publishes this every month, and they do it by flight and by percentage of arrival and departure delays.
Listen to this man.
He knows what he's talking about.
He always knows what he's talking about. Peter Greenberg, thanks. Have a good weekend.
And you may want to avoid the 5 and the 6:15 out of Newark to Atlanta.